Hi guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on my most asked question ever. This is how to start. So I'm going to go into some key elements on how to jumpstart your weight loss or your transformation, whatever you want to call it, whatever goal it is that you have. And it is a very broad topic, but it does go into a lot of little topics that can apply to you in many different ways. Some of them you might not relate to because you don't necessarily have those habits, but others you might really relate to because it's something that, we all struggle with, whether you're skinny, whether you're average, or whether you're overweight. We've all struggled with them at some point. So if you want to know these key elements, then just keep on watching. First thing I want to talk about is setting a realistic goal with a time frame. So you don't want to just go by weight. You don't want to just go by a number on a scale. You want to go by the weight that you're losing, the way you feel, and the way you look. So let's get real. The weight is just a number, and it's so difficult to understand that because every time I step on the scale and I'm heavier, I freak out. So it's difficult for me to even admit that I don't freak out every time I see the scale have a higher number. So we have to get real with ourselves and not go by just that number, because it can be that you're increasing your muscle mass, and it can also be that you're gaining weight or you have a retention of liquids, or any little thing can go into that. So don't go by your weight, go by how you feel and how you look. One thing I love to do is measure myself. I've mentioned this in my previous videos that I always measure myself, and I will go into this more into depth later on in the video. But also don't go by the ideal weight that they tell you in the doctor according to your height and your age. And no, I've done that so many times, and apparently I'm obese because I'm only 5'4" and I'm 20 years old, and I'm not supposed to be weighing 145. Like, I'm supposed to be in my 130s. So don't just go by that, because a lot of us have heavier bones, we have more muscle, you have a bigger head. Who knows? Like, honestly, don't go by the weight. It's frustrating and it can be super discouraging if you do. Another thing is to make a lifestyle change. That's going to be for long term, and it's going to give you much longer lasting results. If you go by something that is very quick, you're going to gain it right back. So what I'm going to talk about right now is the fact that it's not a diet. Don't call it a diet. Don't say I'm going on a diet. My diet is this. Da, da, da. We make that mistake a lot of the times, but it shouldn't be a punishment. What you eat shouldn't be a punishment. It should really become your lifestyle. And I know this sounds super corny because I'm like quoting, it's not a life, like it's a lifestyle. No, but it really should be, because you can get comfortable where you are eating healthy. At some point, your taste buds in the beginning will be like when I first started eating asparagus, I was like, I'm never eating this again. But I started finding ways to season my food. I would start with a little bit of lime, some pepper, and then you start experimenting with your food, and eventually you start liking it, and that's when it starts becoming a lifestyle rather than a diet, which a diet is just like a punishment for anybody, because it's like, okay, I can't eat this because I'm on a diet. It shouldn't be that way. You should be able to still eat some of the things that you like, but in reasonable portions, and also not every single day like we want to eat them. You need to start by establishing what the problem is. So what is it that is preventing you from losing this weight? Is it high carbs, high carb food? Is it fried food? Is it candy? Is it cakes? What is it? Once you establish what the problem is, you need to start cutting that out little by little. I'm not telling you to cut it out completely, because that can be very difficult, and then you'll find yourself like running back to it eventually and just eating it all because you're gonna start craving it. You have to cut it out little by little, and obviously if it's like food, like fried food, you have to cut that out, like that's obvious. But I'm saying, like, I have chocolate here and there, like it's not a big deal. You have to feed into your cravings sometimes, because if not, that's not like a lifestyle at least I want to be in. But it's important that you like control your portions, and you also know that you can't have those things every single day. Something else that has helped me a lot is doing fresh fruit smoothies or veggie juices. I make these myself at home. I don't like to buy the ones in the grocery store, and I don't recommend that you do either, because they're high in sugars, they're high in sodium, they're high in so many artificial sweeteners or flavoring or anything like that. These veggie juices are so good because they're so high in fiber and they make you go to the bathroom. I know that's kind of gross, but digestion is a huge part in this. If you are bad with digestion, you don't go to the bathroom a lot, your body is you're just slowing down your body. You're not going to see the results that you want because you're going to be all plugged up, and that's going to help you cleanse your body out, and you're going to feel thinner, and you're just going to look great. You also need to stay away from any fuzzy drinks. I love those little fuzzy bubbly drinks that have no calories and whatever, but they're not good for you. Any soda, you need to stay away from it. Even if it's diet soda, it's horrible for you. I believe it even causes like cellulite. I've never been a huge fan of soda. Sometimes I do crave sodas, like I'm like, let me have a sip of Coke, but that's like a sip and I don't really have it regularly. Like if I go out to eat, I never order soda. I always get water, and you just have to drink water as much as you can. That goes into the next topic, which is your water intake. Water is so important and essential when you're trying to lose weight. It flushes out all the toxins from your body, and it just helps get rid of the fat that you're burning as well. So women are recommended to drink at least 2 liters of water a day, and men 3 liters of water. You need to start your day with a glass of water, whether it's cold water, hot water. They say hot water is amazing for you to lose weight because, I mean, have you ever seen like a chicken broth that's really hot? All the fat goes straight up. Well, that's the same thing that happens in your stomach. It helps digestion to separate the fat from the food, so it just helps digest everything quicker, and it'll make it easier for your body to get rid of. So I'm not a big fan of hot water. I mean, who likes to drink hot water? But it is very good for you, so if it's something that you want to try, go right ahead. One of everyone's favorite topics, and the most hated one by most people, is exercise. You need to start slowly. If you're not somebody that has really exercised throughout their life, you really need to start slowly. Start by a power walk or by doing light cardio on an elliptical, a stationary bike, anything that just gets you moving. It's really about just moving, because if you're sitting by the TV and you're clicking that button, that's not considered moving. So that's not going to burn any calories. You need to do something that is going to get you sweating, and it's going to get you burning calories. And you will see, for example, me, if I go for a walk, I'm not going to sweat at all because my body is used to working out in high intensity workouts. If you're somebody that has not worked out ever, you're not supposed to just start off by like jogging and sprinting, and because you might hurt your knees if you're overweight, and you might just, your body is not used to it. So you need to start slowly. You need to build up that resistance and build up that muscle. When you feel ready, you start going heavier and heavier and heavier. But you always need to be pushing yourself. You should never be at a comfortable spot. Working out should never be comfortable for you. It should always be something that you have to push yourself into, whether it's weightlifting, cardio. I've never gone to one of my either weightlifting classes or spinning classes and not felt like I was pushed. Every single time I'm busting my butt, and I need to make sure, like, if the weight is too light, you grab heavier. If your resistance on the bike is too light, you go heavier. If you're going too slow, you go faster. Every single time you need to be pushing yourself. If you don't feel your heart rate literally beating out of your chest, you need to go heavier, because if not, you're not pushing your body, and your body's going to be at a standstill. I get this question so many times. Well, I work out every day, I lift weights, I this and this, but I'm not seeing any results. Maybe that's why, because you've been doing this for so long, and your body is in such a strict schedule that it's so used to it. So you need to change it up. One day do spinning, one day do elliptical, another day do Stairmaster, another day do a CrossFit class. Do different things so that your body does not have the space to get used to it, and every single time it's as if it's a surprise. So it shocks the body and it burns a lot of calories. For example, I don't do spinning every single day. I do spinning once or twice a week. Then all the other days I lift weights in a high intensity, which is also considered cardio, because it's literally an hour of non-stop lifting weights, running, or jumping jacks or squat jumps, anything like that that gets your heart rate going. So it's also considered cardio, which is amazing because you're burning calories in cardio workouts, but at the same time you're toning your body with the weights. So it's super important to do weightlifting. Start little by little, but always build up, and once you feel comfortable, you keep putting more and more weight, and that way you will help tone your legs, your stomach, your arms, and you will never get flabby from losing weight. That's the problem that a lot of people face when they just lose weight by either not eating or just doing cardio. You will never tone up that body, that skin that you had from before, because your body will just, your muscles need to stick to it, and then that's how they're gonna get. It's also really important that you set a time for your working out routine. For example, I usually go work out in the mornings just because I know that something will come up throughout the day and I'm just like, I'll work out tomorrow. And we can't do that. We can't skip our workouts. Just like we don't skip our meals. We always have time to eat. We always have to have time to work out. I need to work out every single day. It's not like, oh, I want to work out today. No, it's I need to work out. And when it becomes that way, it's like you love it and it's like a hobby for you. I feel great after I go work out, and when I'm home and I'm just like, you know, you feel like you accomplished something because you know that tomorrow you're going to look better than you did today. So always, always, always set whether morning, during the afternoon, or at night is the best time for you, but just know that every single day, give yourself like 2 rest days a week if you're just starting. I give myself 1, but you give yourself as many as you need, but make sure you set a time and you make a promise to yourself, today I'm going to work out at this time and I'm going to do it, and you get your butt to the gym or to the class or in front of your TV and you do a DVD set, whatever it is that needs to get you moving, you will do it. And that way you'll see results and you'll be consistent with it. And it'll be like a plan that you have to follow, a schedule. As if it was going to school, you need to set it as that. It's like you're going to class, but it's a workout class. And that's going to help you so much to stay motivated. Next up is to document your progress. This can be either measurements or weight. I suggest you don't weigh yourself more than once a week because it will be discouraging. Sometimes a day you'll weigh more just because you drink more water and you have more water retention. That's okay. Don't just go by the weight, because weight can be very, very discouraging and deceiving. Because sometimes, for example, right now I weigh more than I did about 2 months ago, but my measurements are smaller. So always go by your measurements. I like to measure myself every 2 weeks just because it's a little more realistic, because measurements do take longer than just weight. So I do recommend that you keep track of it so that if the scale is lying and telling you that you're gaining weight, you have your measurements to back it up. It's also good to record how much you're working out. For example, if you're doing 30 minutes of cardio, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, and you'll see your progress over time. You always want to see progress because that's going to motivate you. Every time that I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to do this before and now I can do this much. And now I can do triple that. Like, it motivates you so much because you're just like seeing how much you're improving, how much you're bettering yourself, and how much more healthy you are, and how your body can do so much more than it could before. And also take pictures of yourself. I take so many pictures of myself, and I don't mean just selfies. I mean before and after pictures in my bun right after I wake up and looking all crazy. But those are for me. You know, you wake up, it's the best time to take pictures of yourself, because as soon as you put something in your mouth, your stomach is going to get bloated. So as soon as I wake up, I go to the bathroom, and I don't take a picture every single day, but I take one like every week. And that's going to help you if you're like, okay, I don't feel like I'm losing weight. Then just go back to your first picture that you took and compare those two. And I guarantee you, you will see results, and then your mind is going to change, and you're going to prove yourself wrong. And you're going to be able to just sit down and relax about the fact that the weight is saying that you're 3 or 4 pounds heavier, and you'll see you're really losing weight. So now we have to cut out bad habits. This is fried food, which I love myself. Cereals, because a lot of people think that cereals are healthy and granola is healthy. They're really not. They're very high in carbs, very high in sugars, high in calories, so many things, artificial flavoring, so many things are in those cereals that are horrible for you. So, and also the milk. You shouldn't be drinking a lot of milk like that. Stay away from coffee with heavy creamers. Like, I'm not a coffee person, but I see people like, oh, I'm just having some coffee, and then they put literally this much of the creamers. Those are the worst things for you. That's worse than milk. That's worse than anything. If you read the ingredients, it's so important that you start to read the nutrition labels. If you read the ingredients on that thing, it's like the worst things that you can have. It's like all the types of oils or sucrose or all the types of sugar that you should avoid, even if you're skinny. Like, you shouldn't even be having those because they're artificial and they are not good for your body. Also, avoid having these little snack bars like granola bars that have little chocolate chips that are supposed to be healthy. If you read the nutrition labels, once again, you will see that they are very high in sugar, they are very high in carbs, high fat, high calories. They are really not good for you. Okay, so I'm going to teach you guys something that is going to make your life so much easier. This is how to read a nutrition label. So I have a standard nutrition label right here, and I'm going to read a couple of the things that go into this. The first thing is obviously the serving size. You always have to look for that because sometimes you're like, oh, this has only 80 calories, and it's like 4 servings in this one thing, and you're like, okay, that makes a huge difference. So amount per serving, and it says the calories. This tag that I'm looking at right now says 250 calories and 130 calories from fat. 14 grams of total fat, 26 grams of carbs, and 26 of those grams of carbs is sugar. So just think about it, how much sugar is actually in this thing. 26 out of 26. That's crazy. Okay, so this is perfect for when you're trying to find a protein shake. So many people have asked me, what protein shake do you take? I'm always switching it up. But this is huge because a lot of protein shakes are like, oh, it only has 80 calories per serving. And it has, I don't know, 4 grams of fat. And then you go to the carbs and it has 24 grams of carbs. That is a horrible and ridiculous amount of carbs for a protein shake, because all those carbs will be sugars. And yes, it will make your protein probably taste better, but it is horrible for you. So always look for a protein shake that is low in carbs, because the fats will be multiplied by 9. So in this case, this has 14 grams. You multiply the 14 grams by 9, and that's going to give you the total calories of fat that is in that. So 14 times 9, that is whatever calories of fat. And then you're going to go into carbs. Carbs is 4 calories per gram. The fat is 9 calories per gram. Carbs and protein is 4 per gram. So here we have 26 grams of carbs times 4. So 100 out of the 250, let's just say 100, is all carbs. So you're having most of the calories from here are all carbs. So that's not good. You should always just have higher protein than higher carbs and higher fat. And then the protein, it only has 4 grams. So you multiply 4 by 4, that's 16 calories out of 250 is protein. So that's, as you can see, it's very low in protein, it's very high in carbs, and high in fat as well. So stay away from things like that. Every time that you're going to eat something, read the nutrition label. Multiply these things. Remember, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, kilocalories. 1 gram of carbs is 4 kilocalories, and 1 gram of protein is 4 kilocalories. Always try, I mean, when I'm in the supermarket, I like grab it, I'm like, oh my gosh, no. You know, like, you have to look for those things all the time. I bet if you go and look at a Pop-Tart, it will be like the most ridiculous amount of calories. I literally saw the calories, and I love Pop-Tarts, and I was just like, I didn't even want to keep looking at it because I still want to eat them sometimes. So just stay away from that. But that is a big tip when you are looking for a protein shake, because so many of these will have so much sugar in them that they make it worse to drink them than to not drink them. Well, if you have any more questions that I did not address in this video, feel free to contact me. If you do ask me any of the questions that I did address right here, I'm just going to send you right back to the video, because I'm getting so many DMs and I literally have answered to over 100 of them. But I answer really long messages and I take my time. But if you're just asking questions that I already addressed, I'm just gonna go and tell you to watch the videos, because it takes me a really long time and I want to get through all of you and I don't want to leave you without a response. But if it's something that I already talked about, I will respond and just tell you to watch the video, and I'll tell you whichever one. I'm also making a section on my channel. When you click on my channel, on the link on my channel, you will see it says like popular videos, and then it's gonna say fitness and weight loss. All those, whichever I put that have to do with fitness, losing weight, losing inches, and dieting or whatever it is, I will put them right there so that it's easier for you guys to find it and you don't have to look through all my makeup videos and beauty stuff that you probably don't want to see if you're just looking at this for the purposes of losing weight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. If you have any more topics that you want me to touch on, any updates that you guys want me to do, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I will be super happy to address any questions that I haven't addressed already. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And if you guys want to send me any pictures of your progress, feel free to do so. I'm always reading my DMs. I know I take a little while sometimes. I can literally take a week to open yours up, and that's just because I don't want to open recent ones before I open old ones. So I'm going from bottom to top and I'm answering people as much as I can. Just bear with me, because I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you, but it's just I'm going one by one. So send me any pictures of your progress. I would love to see it. You guys have sent me so many sweet messages, and my video hit 100,000 something views, which is ridiculous. I honestly can't even believe that I'm where I am right now. My boyfriend and I talk about this all the time. We're like, oh my gosh, 100,000 views. Like, never in my life did I imagine that I was gonna get to that point, especially not even a year into my YouTube channel. So it's incredible. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your super sweet comments and messages. You guys are so sweet and you motivate me every single day as well. So don't think that it's just one way and I'm helping you guys. You guys help me too, because when I read those messages, it makes me want to keep going. So I thank you guys so much for watching, so much for your support, and I'll see you soon. Bye.